Isn't this a fun time of year? Mid-season basketball, from award races to juggling playoff pictures. It's terrific.
Yeah, you really get to see things taking shape. I like watching teams rise up and make the unexpected run. Makes the league so much more interesting.
Here are the five for the Raptors. The guard spots filled by Quickly and Barrett. The post pairing, Barnes playing alongside Pirtle. And it's Ingram at the three, the small forward. And Draymond Green picks up the foul. That's his first foul. Warriors on D. It's a three-point game. Ingram outside. Shot clock at 6. Played in with a nice touch off the glass.
And loving when Ingram uses that length down low, not settling for the jumper.
Outside Curry. They set the pick. Off target from three-point range. In his relatively young career, Scotty Barnes, GA, has played a number of positions.
Well, he's so versatile. He can be successful at a lot of different spots on the floor. A glue guy you can plug in just about anywhere.
And it's Ingram missing.
Hard to figure out how he doesn't knock that one down. No defender in sight.
On its way from Curry for 2. Another miss by Curry.
Yeah, he's got to be mad at himself for missing that one, especially considering the defense didn't really affect him.
Some nice ball movement here by the Raptors. And Barrett gets it to go.
Well, that ball was in and out of the hands of R.J. Barrett so quickly. He did not give the defense any time to react.
Now, here's Green. Taking a look at the scoring numbers. Right now, he averages about 9 points a game. No good there. Some solid defense from Pirtle.
He seems a little out of rhythm right now.
Pass to Ingram. The shot. Good, and it's Barnes picking up the assist. Ingram's got his second bucket of the game to go.
And this is Brandon Ingram at his best. Catch and fire. Great look right there.
Back to Curry, looking to end the run. And Pirtle pulls it down.
Nothing going his way this quarter offensively. Time to recalibrate.
Barnes. And the Raptors tack on 2 more.
Well, that demonstrates exactly how calm Barnes is. Even with the defense all over him, he still found a way to overcome that.
And so Steve Kerr decides to call a timeout. He made the decision to huddle up with his guys and talk about strategy. Grind of the NBA season wears on, but what a pleasure this year is turning out to be. Let's check out the West and see how the standings look. You take a look at the Warriors. Right now, they've been able to gather the 8th best record in the conference as the latter part of the season approaches.
And, well, for the Warriors, they've had an interesting season for sure. They're competitive, they're feisty, but they're not a team that's going to dominate for long stretches.
Well, inconsistency is the word. Sometimes they'll lose a game they probably should have won, and they show you how hard it is to sustain success in this league.
Kuminga's come in for the Warriors. Here's Toronto. 9 points in a row. Good run for him right now. And last season, Vince Carter became the first player ever to have his jersey retired, Tim, by the Raptors.
So well deserved. And look, prime Vince Carter is exactly the kind of player Toronto is still looking for. A three-level elite scorer.
12, Colin Murray-Boyles.
1:57 left here in the first quarter. And now, Allie LaForce has something for us from the sideline.
I had a chance to catch up with Steve Kerr.
I asked him about Brandon Ingram and the challenges that he presents, and he said to me he is a tremendous scorer with impressive range. Not only that, he's extremely clever at creating scoring opportunities for himself. We got to crowd his space whenever we can. We'll see how aggressive their defense is against him tonight. Kevin?
All right, Allie, we thank you for that. And Barrett slams it in.
R.J. Barrett right there playing with an edge. I want to see more of that from him.
Pass to Moody. And here is Kuminga. A three-pointer off the mark. Outside, Barrett. Now here's Ingram. To the middle. Here's Quickly. Still yet to score. And the clock cranes the three-pointer.
And their offense already in a flow. Some stellar shooting to jump out to this lead.
And so Steve Kerr decides to call a timeout. He's going to take a minute here to get things straightened out. Here's Horford. We saw him with 10 points last game. Three-pointer, Hield. Good on the triple.
A volume three-point sniper. Hield realizes his role is to help space the floor with his shooting.
Here's Abaji. Now 8 seconds separating the two clocks. He doesn't hit that one. Nice defense from Kuminga. Pass to Hield. Lets it go with the three. It's not going to go for him. And so it's Toronto in the driver's seat, up 8 points at the end of the quarter. The one goal they had coming into this game was to not let Curry beat them. And so far, their defense on Steph has been tremendous. Back to the action in just a minute. And thanks again for tuning in. If you're just joining us, we've played through one quarter of action so far. Taking a look here at the Raptors' performance here, guys. What have they been doing or not doing, in your opinion?
Well, the coaches preach ball movement, and we saw exactly why in that first quarter.
Well, that's just great chemistry offensively. Everybody playing for one another and trusting each other. It's beautiful to watch.
So with Curry sitting on the bench, here's the group that Steve Kerr has on the floor. Podziemski out there with Buddy Hield. Then there's Horford. Then there's Jonathan Kuminga and Richard. And you look at the addition of Jimmy Butler. G.A., why has he been such a fit for the Warriors?
He really is an unselfish, high IQ superstar, and that's what the Warriors are all about. And his isolation, interior scoring has given them another look offensively.
Here's Podziemski. Following the basket by Scotty Barnes. Podziemski finds Horford. Here's Hield. 6 to shoot. Alter pulls it in. Toronto leading by 10. Pass to Murray Boyle. Here's Shed. Hits it from three-point range.
Just playing with poise and confidence, and they continue to put points on the board.
I love their approach tonight. They are hitting at a really high percentage.
Three-pointer, Hield. Again, Hield missing.
And close to making the defense pay for the lax coverage that time.
Barnes passes to Abaji. Shoots the three. The rebound by Hield. And here's Hield. He'll bring it up for the Warriors. Trailing by 13. They can look forward to the American Airlines Center after this game. They'll match up against Dallas. And that'll be game 1 of a 4-game road trip. Launches a three. That shot, no good. The Raptors have gone 3 of 4 from the floor here in the second quarter. It's time to send it over now to our reporter, Allie LaForce.
Thank you, Kevin. Raptors head coach Darko Rajakovic wants his team to be very competitive on the defensive end. He said, quote, covering for each other, protecting the paint, taking away corner threes, and making a team effort. Everybody's got to chip in. Back to you, Kevin.
All for one. Allie LaForce with the report. Hey, Allie, thanks. Here's Horford. Following the basket by Scotty Barnes. Kuminga dishes to Hield. Horford with the bounce pass. To stop the drought. Again, Hield missing.
He just can't get anything going in this quarter, and his team desperately in need of a spark.
Pass to Shed. The kick out to Barnes. To the paint. And it's thrown down hard with both hands.
Barnes really just forcing the D to commit. They chose him, and boy, did he make them pay.
And a player, Tim, who stuffs the stat sheet, Scotty Barnes.
Yeah, Kevin, he just has a great all-around game. But the thing I like the most, he's very unselfish. He will pass up a shot if a teammate has a better one.
Now Podziemski. After the missed three from Buddy Hield. On the wing, Hield. And again, it's the Warriors missing.
No other way to put it. Just a rough quarter in terms of scoring. He has not been helping at all.
Now let's take a look at some of the numbers for Moses Moody. And a moment to look at the scoring approach in terms of where the points are coming from for the Raptors.
These guys have been so quick off the dribble, finding great lanes to attack and getting themselves to the basket.
Another highlight for them has been their early ball movement, making quick, decisive passes to set up guys for great looks.
And he can't get the first one. GA now in year 3 under Darko Rajakovic. The Raptors are staying the course.
His contract runs through next season, and he's all in on developing these young players and getting the best out of them.
And the Warriors with a completely new 5 on the floor. Good on the second free throw. There's 57 seconds left in the first half. Guys are looking for a spark here.
Yeah, a cold stretch offensively for sure.
And so Steve Kerr decides to call a timeout. Coach needs a moment to talk things over. And Toronto making a change here. Mamu Kelishvili is checked in. Here now the league's highest scoring teams the past 10 games. What a stretch it has been for these guys. In third, the Warriors.
Yeah, what an impressive run for this club. Everybody seems to be in a rhythm in terms of scoring, and they are putting up some big numbers.
52 seconds left in the second quarter. Moody the pass to Curry. Wow! Curry automatic from deep.
Honestly, guys, Curry is the best three-point shooter I've ever seen.
Now here's Ingram, defended by Moody. And it's Ingram missing. Warriors trail by 15. Outside, Green. And he drops in the layup off the glass. Green's got his first basket.
And Draymond is smart at knowing when to shoot the ball, especially when he's got strong position inside.
Ingram, and that one, good.
Brandon Ingram.
And the Raptors lead by 15.
And they're forcing the ball inside, and it's working like a charm.
Curry kicks to Green. Oh, good on the three. With one on the clock, it doesn't go for him. And so it's Toronto. Their lead at 15 going into the break. They've been putting on a clinic in the paint. Shots are falling with regularity, and they are pounding it down low. Well, we've got a moment now. Let's go courtside to Allie LaForce. Allie.
Here is Coach Steve Kerr. Your defense struggling to contain them in the first half. How do you remedy it?
We got to get back in transition, or we got to make them feel us. You know, they're just running anything they want. We've got to at least disrupt the stuff they're trying to do.
Thank you, Coach.
Thanks, Allie. Much appreciated. Halftime now, and we'll be back to get the third quarter underway in just a moment.
Shot. Please direct your attention to center court. Drumline. And thinking about the shot. One more time, a round of applause.
Greetings, Shaq, Kenny, and EJ here as we tip off the show with a look at our mid-season Eastern Conference standings.
Well, I think for the Raptors, they've underperformed thus far, but they're still tremendous. Now comes the hard part. They've got to tinker with the team until they find that championship recipe.
And getting back to our current contest, very impressive first-half performance for the Toronto Raptors.
They're taking the traditional approach of working it inside and then going outside. That stretched out that defense.
Yeah, it's about time. Once you establish that inside game, everything away from the bucket opens up.
And that'll do it for halftime. We send you back to Kevin Harlan, who has the second half call.
And with a big gap on the scoreboard, the second half begins with very different goals for these teams. One side trying to mount a comeback, one side trying to protect their lead. Brandon Ingram with a strong contribution so far in this one.
Really impressed with the shot selection through the first half, just taking what he can get from the defense.
And what more can you ask of him? That is helping out your team.
Tim, when you think about how the game is currently being played, how hard do you think it is to defend?
It's a lot tougher than it used to be because you have much more ground to cover defensively with the number of three-point shooters that are on the floor, plus the number of guys that understand how to draw fouls.
And the league changes, don't they, in the way they officiate, so that is kind of an ever-changing way to grasp what you do on the defensive end.
Yeah, the league has tried to help defenders, give them a little bit more leeway because of how difficult it is to defend this level of skill.
And checking out the group for Darko Rajakovic to start the second half. Perimeter pairing, Barrett and Ingram. The post pairing, Barnes playing alongside Pirtle. And it's quickly in at the one spot. Now, here's Melton. Scoreless thus far. Inside. And Barrett gets it to go. And the Raptors lead by 19.
And that bucket adds to what has been a big difference in points in the paint between the two teams.
Melton kicks to Green. Golden State moving it around. A tad short, but it's good off the front iron. Green's got his second basket of the game.
Yeah, when Green is looking to score, this is exactly the area he's most comfortable, right at the rim.
Pass to Ingram. This one for three. Buries it from three-point range.
Another good play. This is how they built the lead, calling on the right guys at the right time.
Well, they are making something very difficult look simple right now.
Right now, let's take a moment here to catch up with Allie LaForce on the sidelines.
Hey team, Draymond Green's talked about his mind for the game. He said, "I've never been the tallest or the fastest. We all have gifts. My IQ is a gift that was enhanced by great coaches. I was taught the game properly, so I'm very fortunate and extremely thankful for the coaches that I've had in my life." Back to you.
Paying tribute. Nice job. Okay, thank you, Allie. Here's Melton. Following the basket by Scotty Barnes. Melton, no good.
Yeah, and they've shown effort and aggression in the paint, really right from the tip. Their rebounding edge right now, massive. Yeah, they're going to have a nice little run here.
Warriors have gotten just one of their first 4 shots to fall since coming out of the locker room at the break. Tim, some forget, prior to the success of Stephen Curry, the Warriors were not considered a top-tier franchise.
Well, before he arrived in 2009, this was one of the lowest all-time winning percentages, but they have built a dynasty, and they are now considered one of the most valuable franchises in all of sports.
The basket counts and one. He'll go to the line with a chance to make it a three-point play. And he's got his first chance at the line here. The Warriors making a switch here. Podziemski's checked in.
Brandon Ingram, shooting 1.
Mind the lanes. Mind the lanes. One shot.
In GA, we know Coach Steve Kerr has been up front. In order to win, the Warriors need to take and make a lot of threes.
Well, it's the superpower of their best player, and the arrival of Jimmy Butler has provided some balance, but threes are still their best bet.
5 to shoot. Takes a 3. It's hauled in by the Raptors. After this one, they're off to Sacramento to take on the Kings. That puts them squarely in the middle of this 5-game road trip. And up the court come the Warriors on the break. And he'll shoot free throws here. Clearly fouled on that shot that time. The whistle blowing. The Warriors shooting their initial free throws of the game right here.
And they've had really good numbers all season from the free throw line.
First free throw is good. Some changes for Golden State. Kuminga's come in for Draymond Green. And it's Buddy Hield in for Moody. And Toronto making a change here. Melton hits them both. Raptors leading by 22. Pass to Mamoukelashvili. Now Dick. It's going by Hield. Here's Podziemski. There's 53 seconds left here in the third quarter. And here's Hield. He'll bring it up for the Warriors. Now Podziemski. Here's Melton. And the 3 off target. Pass to Shed. Here's Mamoukelashvili. Post covering. And he gets the bucket. Mamoukelashvili has got his first points of the night.
And after really leaning on that three-point shot in the first half, seeming like they're just getting away from it here in the second. More of the shots coming from the interior.
Here's Kuminga. Uses the glass to finish the layup.
Yeah, Kuminga's confidence is growing down there. Now when he gets the ball inside, he's actually looking to capitalize.
Here's Dick. The Warriors pull it in. Here's Podziemski. And he got that one up in time, but doesn't go in. And as we conclude the third quarter, pretty much a blowout. It's been a one-sided affair. The Raptors out in front, opening up a huge gap. And will return shortly. And a moment ago inside the huddle with head coach Steve Kerr.
Just picking us apart, right? Guy cuts behind you down the lane. Miscommunication there. They're cutting behind us. So we got to get solid defensively.
But clearly, Greg, he's not happy with his team's aggressiveness on the defense. Clearly, Steve calling his team out on it.
Yeah, gently asking for them to pick it up. They're going to need to if they want to win this one.
And with the fourth quarter upon us, time is running out for this game to become competitive. Backcourt pair will be Curry and Podziemski. Jonathan Kuminga out there with Buddy Hield, and it's Horford in at the 5 slot. So that's the group out there for Golden State. Here's Mamu Kelishvili. Shot clock at 5. The Raptors need to get a shot off. Walter, good.
Well, he's just stretching them out. The defense has got to do a better job of staying attached to him.
Yeah, we talk about winning basketball all the time and what it looks like. Well, that defense right there, that's the opposite of that.
Here's Curry after Toronto got the three-pointer. Gets a very good look and converts.
You can't just stop when there's a pick set up. Gotta fight over it as a defender.
Well, you just have to communicate those switches. If you don't, it's on you.
Now here's Barnes. Shoots over Podziemski. Horford with the rebound. The Warriors shooting a low 30% right now. An ugly offensive performance. Picked by Horford. Curry passes to Hield. Looking to end his cold spell. And there's Stephen Curry on the assist by Hield. Tim, at one point, your dream was to play professional baseball. Why did you switch?
Kevin, it really came down to this. Hit a growth spurt when I was 14 years old, and I decided to go try this basketball thing that first year in high school. As it turns out, what I fell in love with, I didn't need anybody else to get better. I had an insatiable work ethic. It lent itself to hours and hours on the basketball court by myself.
That is such an interesting perspective. And we've got a timeout called by Steve Kerr. He's very aware of the timing here and the significance of getting things squared away with his team. Quentin Post is checked in for Horford. Draymond Green comes in for Jonathan Kuminga. Moses Moody, he's checked in for Buddy Hield. And it's DeAnthony Melton in for Brandon Podziemski. Just a little under 2.5 minutes have passed now here in the fourth. Green with a screen for Melton. Here's Post. And the rebound paying off as they pick up 2 on the second chance bucket right there.
Well, that's just a mistake on defense. No one got a body on it.
Here's Walter. Now Dick. Pass to Abaji. From outside, off the mark. Warriors trail by 20. In the corner, it's Melton. Oh, good with the triple.
Oh, he is off from deep. Maybe it's time to look for another option.
Here's Walter. Lawson outside. And too much time in the lane. They get called for the 3-second violation. And as we've seen, Greg, navigating this age of social media can be difficult for an NBA player.
Yeah, a momentary indiscretion can get broadcast to the whole world. So there's a need for caution that's probably higher than in decades past.
Now here's Curry. Here's the screen. Drained from outside.
And tonight's battle is going to end with a very clear winner, leaving nothing to chance. Impressive win for the Raptors.
The differential in assists led to a lot of open looks and also helped to get more guys involved in the offense easy.
And they made the defense adjust, but they just couldn't come up with an answer.
And so all the hard work here tonight converted into a tally in the win column. It'll be number 26 on the year.
A 2-game season series. They win them both and complete the sweep.
And we watched one guy all night long, guys, and looking at the stats just confirms what a dominant game he had. What a night tonight it was for Brandon Ingram.
Well, it's a great night for him, and his impact goes beyond the box score. The relentless energy he plays with fuels his team.
Here's Walter. Following the basket by Stephen Curry. Just 5 to shoot. And down goes the 3.
And they came in determined to take this one. It's going to be a happy flight home.
It is never easy to win on the road, but they rose to the challenge.
Now, here's Melton. Off target from outside. Here's Temple. And so Toronto takes this one, but by a big margin. To come into an opponent's building and dominate the way they did tonight says, I think, Greg, an awful lot about this team.
I guess they don't need home cooking to feel at home. I mean, Kevin, just a masterful performance all the way around.
And that'll do it, folks. Along with Tim Legler, Greg Anthony, and Allie LaForce, this is Kevin Harlan saying thank you once again for being with us here tonight on 2K Sports. And now, our player of the game, Brandon Ingram.